well, we're going to switch gears. We're going to kick it over to a new segment where we're talking about the world of WWE TV. We've got my favorite, and I think the best premium live event of the entire year coming up, the Royal Rumble. It's going to be taking place in St. Petersburg, Florida in January, and we are actively on the road to Royal Rumble. So far, only 2 superstars have declared themselves as entrants into the Rumble. Those 2 superstars are CM Punk and everyone's favorite, Cody Rhodes. Lee, what do you think's going on the road to Rumble?
I would just like to say, since this is all it takes to get in there, I am declaring myself for the 2024 Royal Rumble. I declare bankruptcy, right?
You
like,
know, you have to do
that's
more
all
than
it
just
takes.
say it,
I'm
Michael.
in, right?
Yeah.
Hunter
Right?
Hurst, John Paul Levesque, if you're listening, I declare myself as the special entrant to the Royal Rumble 2020. So that's the one thing I don't like about the way, I think it's kind of lazy storytelling. I love the Royal Rumble. It's absolutely my favorite event ever. But just to have a superstar come out and go, I declare myself, like, why can't Akira Tozawa walk out and go, I'm in the Rumble? Like, if as soon as somebody said Adam Pearce, would be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That would
whoa,
be
whoa,
perfect.
whoa,
That would,
Hold
I would
on.
actually be perfect if
It
cuts to a Tozawa bit where he's like, I declare, I will be. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude.
I
That
mean,
would be
it's
so
literally,
funny.
I know I referenced it already, but it's that Michael Scott moment on The Office where he declares bankruptcy. He just walks into a room and goes,
You have to do more than
I
just say it.
declare bankruptcy. Well, like, that's what it feels like when somebody does that. Like, how do you, I get that CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are on a level where they can do that. And even if it weren't scripted, then the higher ups would be like, yeah, of course you're going to be in there. You're our money guy. But to just be able to walk in and do that, like they used to have like this little tumbler and people had to earn getting a number.
Yeah.
And then it was like, ooh, what number do you like? There's intrigue to it. Like,
Yes.
or if the authority figure announces them, like there feels like there's just the inmates running the asylum when people just walk out and go, guess what? I'm in. And they're like, oh, well, you said it out loud, so I guess you have to do it now, right?
I've always loved in the past where someone is punished by entering the Rumble at number 1.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's fascinating to me. Like you're assigned and it's the gauntlet for you, right? Like you're getting the dregs as punishment. I love that. I love that. Well, let me ask you this. What happens if Cody Rhodes wins back-to-back Rumbles?
So
do the fans care? Is that exciting? Is that good news or bad news?
So I think that there's 3 characters that I have in mind into how they're going to go. And I think 2 are more obvious than the other. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Gunther. Last year, Gunther and Cody Rhodes started the Rumble, ended the Rumble, right? That was the story. But because they did that, does that mean Cody needs something to be able to prove like, hey, I deserve again to main event with Roman? Because he's kind of been, I mean, it's been exciting at points, but he's kind of been spinning his wheels for a year until we can finally get back to WrestleMania 40. And don't forget, this is WrestleMania 40. It's a big one. Like, they need the biggest possible main events. And so the main events, I'm calling my prediction now. This is not shocking. The main events, night 1 is going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. CM Punk gets his main event. He's happy. He wins the title. Number 2 is going to be Roman versus Cody. Cody finishes the story, right? So how do you get to those 2 things? Well, one is the Royal Rumble, the other's Elimination Chamber. So either Cody Rhodes or CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, and then either CM Punk or Cody Rhodes, whoever didn't win the other one, wins the Elimination Chamber. However,
so predictable.
Gunther
doesn't it seem so predictable?
Soft. It does, but sometimes predictable is okay, right? And if you look back, right, like think about the twice in a lifetime, right? Once in a lifetime, John Cena versus The Rock was a surprise.
Right.
Twice in a lifetime, literally they had a year of build. But now on the other side of history, you look back And there's these exciting promo packages about how they got from here to here to here, and they only needed 3 big events on
Right.
the other side of it to make this video segment work. And you're excited. But when you sat through the year
Mhm.
of, is The Rock going to be here for 6 months? No. Okay. How do we keep this story going? Well, we'll just mention it. Right. And that's where we're at with Finish the Story.
This is
That's where we're at.
WrestleMania 40. You know that? This is
It
going to be WrestleMania.
is.
It's going to be a huge
Yeah.
landmark.
XL, right? Well,
I
triple
don't
XL.
know. I don't know. Yeah, it's something like that. But this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a monumental WrestleMania. I think for the number 40, a nice round number, and 4 decades of greatness, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. I don't know if they're going to have Punk headline WrestleMania. That in and of itself
He will.
was some of the debate, right? He's had 7 WrestleMania matches. His last Mania was in 2013, 10 years ago.
Against The Undertaker.
He's got a 3-4 record at WrestleMania.
Mm.
He's never been the draw. Is he the draw now? I mean, he was like the working class hero.
Yes.
He was the guy, if Cena
Yes.
wins, we riot, right? I
Right.
mean, he was the one that was like the Daniel Bryan. He's risen to the top despite the authority, despite the business, despite not having the size. He was an underdog. Do we care about him being a favorite? Do we care about him
Yes.
being a draw? I'm just
So
like,
here's the thing. WrestleNomics just, oh my goodness, I went Undertaker again. Hold on just one second here.
oh my Undertaker.
All right. Sorry. We have a plan to fix
You
that.
went
But anyway,
Undertaker and I went Paul
okay.
Bearer.
So WrestleNomics, as reported by Wrestle Talk,
Yeah.
noted that in CM Punk's debut night, right, he was already the #1 merch seller in the company for a 5-minute walkout. Hi, I'm here.
I
And he
tried to buy his
hasn't left that
shirt. It was
spot
sold out.
since.
I tried.
Yep.
Yeah, because of when he debuted and like his
Yeah.
connection to Black Friday. So like I went on and like everything was sold out except like extra small. And I was
Right.
like, oh.
The
Yeah.
most watched segments on WWE's YouTube every week now are CM Punk related.
what's
And
he
he
gonna
hasn't wrestled
say?
yet.
What's he going to
He hasn't
say?
wrestled yet.
But that's
Right.
his draw, is his mouth. Who cares about him wrestling?
Well, apparently about
Make him an
15 million
announcer.
people.
Make him an announcer if he's so good at talking, right? Wasn't that
Right.
what he was? And
Oh, he does great on
in
commentary.
another organization, right? Wasn't he great behind the table?
Well, he does MMA commentary. He's great on commentary. But honestly, this is a wave that when you catch the wave, like this, nobody could have planned for this to happen. Nobody could have
Right.
foreseen CM Punk being in the company for WrestleMania, period. Now that he's here, if they don't, and that segment with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, with Seth walking out and saying, "You called this your home. This is not your home.
That
This
was
is
Seth's
my home."
best work.
That's the best they've done.
Okay. Seth Rollins for a moment was interesting, other than sing my song. Like
Right.
he's cool because he's participatory. He gets the crowd
Right.
engaged in this song. But like suddenly I care about Seth Rollins, where
Right.
I didn't care about that title match with Shinsuke. I didn't care about him having a back injury and all. Like to me,
Right.
he's married to the best wrestler in the business. That's it.
Agreed.
That's Seth Rollins. He's a spouse of a really talented superstar.
That's right. I
But
agree.
suddenly, against Punk, I care. I
Right.
care about his words. I care
See?
about his attitude. I care about his thoughts. I care about his feelings. And they were really good. And that's what this business is predicated upon, is eliciting an emotional response. Seth Rollins,
Right.
for the first time in months, maybe even years, made me feel something other than boredom. And I was really
Right.
excited about that. I was really excited about that.
I agree. And that's, I mean, again, yes, CM Punk is needle mover shirt, right? He is moving the needle more than anybody else right now. Cody is the only other one in that conversation. if I were able to book things, I would put Gunther and LA Knight into those positions. But for WrestleMania 40, and because it's such a big one, CM Punk is a guaranteed draw. Cody Rhodes is a guaranteed draw. Gunther, LA Knight, their time is after WrestleMania.
There's no way. Let me ask you of two scenarios that I would think would be compelling, but maybe disgusting simultaneously. Number one would be this: someone other than Cody or CM wins the Rumble. Let's say
Yeah,
Sami Zayn wins it,
that would be crazy.
or Gunther, right? Or
That'd be
KO.
insane.
Let's
I'd
let's
love
just
it.
say they do it. Let's just say they do
Right.
it because it's so predictable. Let's say that Triple H goes, "No, man, this is Sami Zayn's year," and he's taking on Seth at Mania, and it's
Right.
going to be the working class underdog hero story that we want to tell.
Right.
Which then would let's say a triple threat main event at Mania. Seth, I'm sorry, Cody versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Would that
I
be
just
compelling?
I don't see. I think the singles match is the way. And Triple H has proven that, unlike previous bookers in the company, he holds to a long-term story, even if
Right.
something else comes in the mix. And yes, you could say CM Punk is new in the mix or whatever, but Seth didn't have a predetermined outcome. Roman versus Cody. I mean, at the press conference after last year's WrestleMania, what did he say? There's more chapters to this story. Just wait, right? Like,
Mr.
he
McMahon would have done
knew
that.
then.
Mr. McMahon would have done that. He would have thrown the two guys to battle against the third so that he could take the belt away from Roman without hurting.
Without pinning Roman.
He would
Yeah.
have Cody pin Punk and then win the title, and then Roman's
Right.
still clean. Like that
Right.
was a totally Vince McMahon move of
Right.
forever, right? The
Yep.
second thing, let me just say this: the second thing I could see Mr. McMahon planning, if he were still at the helm, would be The Rock as entrant number 30,
Yep.
wins Rumble, and
Goes on to
WrestleMania
fight
40
Roman.
is The Rock versus Roman, and
Yep.
everyone outside of the business suddenly cares about the reinvigorated Rock.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm not being myopic here, and honestly, I don't like CM Punk historically, like, as much as I'm going to talk about him here. He was never one of my guys. I mean, I
Right?
watched the Pipe Bomb, but that wasn't my era. That wasn't
It
my
was so
time, and
good.
I
Oh, it
never I
was
watched
so
it one
good.
time. Like, I mean,
Right?
it was so good, right? But
The fact that he
here's the
took the
thing.
title and ran through the crowd and left the arena, incredible. Better finish to that pay-per-view, maybe than any ever.
Because you legitimately didn't know if he was ever coming back. Like, that
Right.
was the hook. But
Right.
I think CM Punk is a The Rock level draw.
Wow. But only to insiders in this business.
Maybe.
The Rock generates, and WrestleMania has always been about attracting fans outside the business. The crossover,
here's
right?
my booking of
Pete
this.
Rose being in the
Right.
ring, Donald Trump being in the
Johnny
ring, Liberace
Knoxville,
being in the ring, Johnny Knoxville.
Muhammad
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah. That's WrestleMania has, from WrestleMania 1 over the last 40 years, has been about
Yep.
celebrity crossover. This is our premier event to attract
Right.
new fans.
Agree. And I
Oh,
think this is how that plays out now. Last year, my prediction, if we were doing such things, my prediction was that night 1 of WrestleMania, Cody versus Roman. Night 2 of WrestleMania main event, Roman versus The Rock. So he loses the
yeah,
title,
I can see
and
that.
then he loses the tribal chief
But why?
moniker. I think this
Yeah,
I
no,
think this year, The Rock comes out at the end. Next year's WrestleMania is Roman versus Rock, and they telegraph it.
Oh, all right, all right.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, I actually really like that. I actually really like that. Nothing about this business indicates that The Rock is coming back. Nothing.
Correct.
Other than who is actually worthy to dethrone the greatest Universal Champion in the history of wrestling that they have made untouchable, that they have protected, that they have given the royal treatment to, that has hand selected by Mr. McMahon to be the heir apparent to John Cena and to take the company into whatever this era is. The juggernaut, the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, right?
Absolutely.
Like, who they have built him up, so they have built him up larger than Hulkamania was ever built up.
Disagree.
They've built him up bigger than Stone Cold was ever built up. They've built him up more than the Undertaker was ever built up. And yet now they have a situation of they've painted themselves into a corner where no one can take this title off of him. No one, except a legend like The Rock. Cody, I just don't know that I can see it. I don't know. And I want to believe it's going to happen.
I was going to say, come on, Rusty, you're the Cody guy.
I want to believe it's going to happen, but I just don't.
I believe it.
Everything in the industry would tell me that Cody may get a title at like SummerSlam or something.
So
something nonsensical.
I think the long-term booking is Cody. And here's the thing. The things that WWE cares about that aren't tied to what's actually happening in the ring, merchandising sales. Cody Rhodes has been on top of merchandising sales consistently. LA Knight's been in the picture a lot, but Cody Rhodes has been the consistent one throughout that until CM Punk got here. And then CM Punk blew it out of the water, right? So Cody Rhodes wins. I mean, if he doesn't, this was the biggest waste of 2 years of my wrestling life that I've ever had. And I'm not a Cody guy. I'm fine with him not winning it, except if the story doesn't get finished. This is one of the worst told stories. This will be looked back upon in like Shockmaster levels of, remember Cody Rhodes and the Shockmaster? That's the two that are going to be put together, right?
Well, I'll say this. Since we're making those comparisons, I'll draw this. Roman Reigns as the reigning Universal Champion is akin to Hollywood Hogan having the giant gold belt that no one could take off of him for years.
Yep.
And the fans quit caring.
Yeah. We're in a different era, but Bruno Sammartino, right? The 7-year-long champion. The only way that WWE justifies Roman being champion after WrestleMania is if they're going for Bruno Sammartino's reign. That's the only way. And that would be a decade.
There was
dominance.
No internet back then. There was no TV. There was no, you couldn't
TV,
tire. I don't think the promotions were televised, right? I don't think a fan could tire of seeing San Martino on TV bi-weekly the way it is now, right?
Right. Yeah. It was televised, but it was definitely rare.
Right. And it made a lot of sense if there was this regional promotion and you'd kind of go see him in a gym or see him in a stadium, an arena. Like, that's cool, right? And but like, we got these 20-minute walk to the ring, Paul Heyman promos. Like, I can't take another 5 years of that. Like, I'll be an old, bald man by the time. Anyway, any thoughts? So your prediction to win the Royal Rumble is?
I think CM Punk wins the Rumble. The story for Cody is then I didn't win the Rumble. How do I earn my spot against Roman? And he becomes the Iron Man of the Elimination Chamber.
I think that is probably choreographed perfectly. I want to say that's the no-brainer, clear path. And because of that, I think someone else is going to win the Rumble because I think it's so predictable that this could be a Jey Uso win. This could be a Sammy win where you're just like, I mean, this could be a Randy Orton win,
Not
right?
again.
I
That would make
exact.
him the most winning Royal Rumble participant ever if he wins again.
Well, he's
Yeah.
the legend. I mean, he's the legend killer. Well, we'll wrap up this episode. I want to know in the chat, we typically don't do this, but I want to see your comments on this segment in this video. Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble and why? Who should win the Royal Rumble and why? That's it for this segment. Lee, take us out.
Well, we just appreciate all of you in the community for the WWE Champions game, for wrestling culture in general. We are on a resurgence, guys. So let's enjoy this ride together. And as you play, smash gems kindly together. Bye.